out the crime statistics?
Not exactly like.
You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature. The issue is right now, they don't feel like there's any fear. Like, I don't know. It's like memes. It's just memes to everybody, I guess. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't care. I'm playing video games. Okay, I'm done today. I don't give a fuck. God, it's gonna be so fucking gay if I get killed in the next fucking 2 months of shit I'm doing. Well, the cuck shit out here. Please don't anybody make any actual fucking, the most cucked, weak-ass, fucking bullshit-ass speeches on my side. God, if it happens, holy shit, I'm gonna make a death note before I go out to go live and not... God, it's so cucked. It's so optics cucked. I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term. Every time he's in office, this happens. People joked about when Biden came in, it was so boring, nothing was going on. 7 out of 10 of the largest protests in American history have happened under Donald Trump.
Well, the problem is on the left. If you look at the problem is on the left. It's not on the right, like some people like to say on the right. The problem we have is on the left. And when you look at the agitators, you look at the scum that speaks so badly of our country, the American flag burnings all over the place, that's the left, that's not the right.
There is no unity with people who scream at children over their parents' politics. There is no unity with someone who lies about what Charlie Kirk said in order to excuse his murder. There is no unity with someone who harasses an innocent family the day after the father of that family lost a dear friend. There is no unity with the people who celebrate Charlie Kirk's assassination. And there is no unity with the people who fund these articles, who pay the salaries of these terrorist sympathizers, who argue that Charlie Kirk, a loving husband and father, deserved a shot to the neck because he spoke words with which they disagree. Did you know that the George Soros Open Society Foundation and the Ford Foundation, the groups who funded that disgusting article justifying Charlie's death, do you know they benefit from generous tax treatment? They are literally subsidized by you and me, the American taxpayer. And how do they reward us? By setting fire to the house built by the American family over 250 years. I am desperate for our country to be united in condemnation of the actions and the ideas that killed my friend. I want it so badly that I will tell you a difficult truth. We can only have it with people who acknowledge that political violence is unacceptable, and when we work to dismantle the institutions that promote violence and terrorism in our own country.
Wow, what an intro. What an intro. I think that's one of my best intros. And I can't add anything more to that. I show you an example of a prominent left-winger, right? Destiny, mainstream liberal, right? He goes on all these shows. CNN put him out there. He's been saying this rhetoric since Donald Trump's first assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania, when the firefighter died protecting his family. He said, hey, if you're at a Trump rally and you happen to die, I'm going to laugh at you. This was Destiny's first, mask off moment. Now you're seeing it the second time. Oh, conservatives need to be scared. It ain't going to happen, bro. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. Many conservatives already know. Like, make it make sense. Throughout conservatives' lives, conservatives knew, hey, we're open with our political opinion. We'll be ostracized. People will make fun of us. People will mark us. People will attack us. You ain't saying nothing new, Destiny. And then the funny part is, and this is how psychopathic Destiny comes across to me. He want to sit here and pretend like the liberals are the virtuous one. Make it make sense. Who's celebrating death? Who does not want tolerance? Who's the party that has a problem with tolerance? And I'm tired of the mainstream media keeps trying to play cover for these people. And they're getting called out. They're getting nuked out of existence for this. Because as much as they want to sit here and pretend that they're good people, and this is my problem with liberals. Sorry, I'm making a generalization, I know. But I believe this is generally true. Liberals only want to look good, not actually do good, not actually be good. And I want to put this debate with Anna Kasparian. This is Piers Morgan. I want to kind of put my commentary on this video because it exposed exactly the infighting within the liberal movement, the left-wing movement. Why? I will not accept the premise of it being both sides. I will never accept that premise. Because how many times people on our side has to die over and over and over again, and they left expect us to be the bigger person and expect us to be the one to tone down the temperature. Christian kids, Christian schools getting shot up by trans shooters. Oh, you gotta be the bigger person, conservatives. You gotta be the big gaslighting us. And this is the agitation I think Donald Trump is pointing out. Charlie Kirk dies, and then you expect Donald Trump and JD Vance need to cool down the temperature. No. Democrats pretend like, oh, we need leadership. We need this and that. Democrats have an opportunity, and this is how dumb politically a lot of these Democratic politicians are. They have an opportunity politically to really show themselves, okay, we're going to call out our side. Because right now, if you're conservative, you calling out a liberal's automatically going to think you're just trying to politicize the situation and gaslight and turn up the temperature. If you're a liberal criticizing conservatives' reaction to it, they automatically think you're trying to be dismissive of the concerns and feelings and the mourning of conservatives. Right now, each side has to hold their own side accountable, but the left is not willing to do it. And then they have the goal to try to tell us, try to gaslight us to, we need to unite together.
So, of course, there can be no unity with a celebration of Charlie Kirk's assassination. Of course. It does beg the question, though, how can we get to a place where the voices that we're hearing, the voices that we are listening to, the ones that define our nation, are not the ones that are most extreme of all? Because as Vance himself said, this is a minority, a lunatic fringe, his words. How do we all get off our phones, back to our real lives, where we can see each other for what we are? We are human beings. We are all human beings. We absolutely have to figure out how to tolerate people that we disagree with, people who see the world differently than we do. How do we see the people that we can have unity with? Those masses out there that J.D. Vance acknowledged are there, the majority of people that disagree with his politics, but don't think any of this celebration he was talking about is right on any day, ever. Instead, we're letting the worst among us define us all.
I actually I have a list of them all together of the horrific acts of political violence. But again, it goes across the political spectrum. Looking forward, moving forward, if this could be a turning point, I've seen from many saying that it should be expected to start from the leaders. It should be expected to start from a president of the United States to move forward and bring that temperature down. If he is not going to, what do you do with it? What do you do about it?
Well, what do you all do with it? You keep putting it out. If you all truly wanted this to change in the media, at CNN and other places, your editorial board would say, we're not gonna put this stuff out, but yet you continue to put it out, and that continues to stir the base. Man, we had a hearing last week on UFOs.
I'm creating a conversation, and I have been, and I take pride in the fact that we do bring the temperature down on this program, and I'm definitely redoubling efforts to do that now by playing the words of the president in order to bring about conversation with an elected member of Congress. That's not trying to stir, that's trying to have conversation. And that's trying to ask you what you thought about it, rather than have you come back and attack me about it.
Well, ma'am, I'm not attacking you. I'm just letting you know that you all need to look within at CNN if you want to continue down this path, because clearly your ratings show that, and the conservative movement is showing that they're not watching you because of that. If you all truly had some objective reporting instead of constantly attacking conservatives and Republicans, then there would be a change, I think. But there's not going to be a change. You all don't want to change down deep. Maybe you do, ma'am, but I dare say that the vast majority of your colleagues do not. They do not come from the conservative spectrum. They see this as just as a Republican type situation, and it is absolutely not. You're seeing as much or more on the left than you are from the right, and this is just down that same road once again. And it proves my point that this will never change.
I agree with the congressman. The media don't care about actually toning down the temperature, because some of the things their pundits say, like I can use this as an example here. CNN implies that Trump administration is overreacting to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. They order flags to be flown at half-mast. He's going to honor Charlie Kirk post-homily with the Medal of Freedom. This is very different response to what we've seen in other cases like this. And I'll play the clip for you just to hear it in their own words.
I mean, and I think the point as well is rarely have we ever seen an administration, and not just the president, but all of his top aides, the vice president included, act or react to a moment like this in such a deeply personal way. And that's what I think, to me, has been so striking to see, the way that they, he ordered flags to be flown at half.
And this is why I say, like, I rather trust the internet more than the TV. She says Trump falsely claims political violence. And this is what the Republican congressman was talking about, how CNN stirs the base. Because if you look at the past few attacks, right, on the right. Now you can say it makes two claims for the Democrats, right? But you can make an argument that's from their own radicalization. And this is the far left that we are pointing out. That you got mainstream liberals trying to play cover, trying to do cover. Oh my God, rid me of this Nazi that's sitting next to me, right? This attempt, like the CNN host, right, in the beginning of this segment, she talks about how can we just all see each other as human and tolerate each other's viewpoints? Only one side has a toleration problem.
Just the fight I have been having with the left, while I'm, of course, the irony, as a lot of people in my position, is still a liberal, just a traditional liberal, won't go along with their, like a lot of the stuff that's just crazy out there too far, which gets Trump elected, blah, blah, blah. As I always say to my woke friends, we voted for the same person. You're just why she lost.
Oh, I get it. Okay. Took me a second. Sorry, I had to absorb that.
Okay. They're the people who don't want to talk. It's my main issue with them. And Charlie Kirk was a guy who, like, he was always talking. And I talked to him here. The right-wingers say what you want about them, but they talk to you. They're not into this leftist thing. The left really has much more of a, I don't talk to you, I don't want to deal with you, you're deplorable, I can't break bread with you.
Yeah.
That attitude, and like all the right-wingers, they don't have that attitude. No, again, I didn't vote for them. And Charlie Kirk and I certainly don't agree on much politically. But he sat here, he's a human being, he's not a monster.
And a husband and a father.
Yes, and I liked him. I liked them all. They're all nice people when you meet them in person, and they're not as crazy as they would, nobody's as crazy as they make them out to be.
And before I get into the main course of this video, right, is Destiny and Anna Kasparian debating it out. Tim Pool points out Crystal Ball. This is the lady, I find her insufferable, honestly. She's everything wrong with the progressive left and the liberal, because one hand, they'll pretend that they're fighting for some principle and try to hold you accountable to your own principles, but they can't hold themselves accountable to their own principles. Make it make sense. The left rules for thee, but not for me. That's the left. And that's based on power, not unity. And this is what conservatives are calling the left out for. You recently celebrated a guy getting fired for his politics. None of this matters anymore. Every statement may as well read, give me power. That is the three-letter word that the Democrats and a lot of people on the left care about. Destiny admitted it blatantly in your face. If you didn't elect Donald Trump, you would have lived. That's what he's telling you. That's the left-wing message. That's the left-wing sentiment. This is why they're celebrating it. They say, see, we told you. Didn't we tell you, conservative? And they expect us to, this is submission. This is not unity. Unity is, oh, you're allowed to say your opinion. Yeah, we ain't going to force our values on it. Like the whole BLM, silence is violence. Remember that? These people want you to submit to them. That's what they consider unity. And conservatives are like, no, that's not real unity. You have to own up to the mess that you're contributing to. Because you expect us to condemn, and we condemn violence no matter what. Like, there's clips of Trump saying he condemned violence and all this numerous times throughout 2020, 2016. The left still don't accept it. And because the left's like, oh, it's because of what you're doing, Donald Trump, is making me act this way. It's making the left act this way. You must own up and turn down. This is the argument they're trying to do. It's submission. That's not tolerance. It's submission. That's what the left want. And if the left was honest like Destiny, they would admit it too. But I digress. I want to play this clip in its full clarity here to show you kind of the darkness that's like that is giving a permission structure. And one of the reasons why we believe, especially as a conservative, that it's not both sides. It's the left. The left is the only one that gives open space to this stuff, celebrate this stuff, turn a blind eye to this stuff. Not the right. The right don't turn a blind eye to their political violence. We call it out. We say this is not acceptable. Go out peacefully. Look at the riots. You see any riots coming up? You see any Charlie Kirk riots? No. Because the right knows how to hold themselves accountable. And when political extremists on our side do something, we call them out and we condemn them. But not the left. The left is not consistent. The left would love to jump in and condemn right-wingers along with right-wingers, but when it's something that's culpable on their side, they turn a blind eye, they play like they're ignorant, they pretend it's not happening. Destiny spent 2 minutes in this clip denying evidence and facts that the Utah governor was publicizing in his conference about them after they catch Tyler Robinson. This is the games that the left play. But I digress. Let's get into the clip.
You've been quite active on social media since Charlie Kirk's death. When Erica Kirk posted Charlie's coffin, you responded, she tagged him, brackets, crying face emojis. In response to Alina Haber's tweet ordering people to fly their flags at half-mast in memory of Charlie, you posted on X, buying flags and poles just to fly them fully erect. And you then posted yesterday, ending every conservative debate call out I do in 2026 with "Don't dodge, bro." That's not what Charlie would have wanted. I mean, do you think that your response
and you think we can be united with people like that? And you see why the conservatives just gave up. We said, F it. We're gonna hold you to your principles because you don't know how to hold yourselves to your own principles. Liberal, you for free speech where you're canceling people. Okay, consequence culture. What's a better consequence than not inciting political violence, not giving permission to political violence? You say you believe in those values, right, liberal? So we'll hold you accountable for you, since your side don't want to hold you accountable, since you don't want to police your own side. You're a busybody. You want to be in everyone's business, but you don't want to handle your own business. No backlash, nothing. Just turn a blind eye. Oh, Destiny's crazy. And then you have the goal to try to lecture us. And then you get mad when conservatives like me put out videos about how, yeah, most political violence comes from the left. What you gonna say? Look what your peoples are saying out here on these streets. But you have the goal to try to condemn us. Okay. I digress.
To the cold-blooded murder of Charlie Kirk has been appropriate.
Yes. I think that the only way this country moves forward into a better world is when conservatives can finally realize that they need to turn the temperature down on their side. We are 10 years into whatever this Trump madness.
10 years of trying to put fear in the hearts of conservatives to back down, to not believe in your structure. Submit to liberalism. Submit to what we find acceptable. Only be conservative to the point we find tolerable. That's what he's telling you. That's what he's telling conservatives. That's the real message. This is what I infer from his words. Because think about it. If you don't agree with what Kamala Harris was pushing, why would you vote for her? Let us win or else. That's a political threat. Oh, we're going to make fun of you. We're going to mock you when you die. There's no incentive to unite with you. That's my argument here. There's no incentive for the right to unite with the left when the left is openly saying stuff like this, denigrating our thought leaders. Charlie Kirk, someone who has sway and influence. You see the influence. It's adamant. It's obvious. And this is how people on your side, leftists, is arguing, is talking.
This is, and there is not a single mainstream conservative that will call for a lowering of the temperature on their side. I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're...
But what about your side? Stop worrying about other people's house. Focus on your house. Make sure, hey, let's not be celebrating this. Let's not incentivize this in our side. Why not do that? Instead, it's always looking what the Republicans do. It's what I said in my last video. Democrats, instead of meeting the moment and lead by example, you're just gonna, the conservatives ain't doing it, so we're not gonna do it. And this is what Anna Conspiracy is going to call him out on. I digress, though. I want to get to the point.
You're not willing to do it, it will never come down. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term. Every time he's in office, this happens. People joked about when Biden came in, it was so boring, nothing was going on. 7 out of 10 of the largest protests in American history have happened under Donald Trump.
How's that Trump's fault? How's that Trump's fault? If you don't like him, you protest him, right? Trump can't control how you guys are going to react to him. So what you're saying is when we get our way, we won't throw a temper tantrum. But when we don't get our way, a.k.a. Trump wins, we're going to throw a big temper tantrum. That's what you just admitted, Destiny. This is why I'm tired of people like Destiny sitting here trying to lecture people about politics. And this guy is supposed to be smart. Oh, he came from a Christian background. So did Destiny. But we're supposed to accept Destiny as a liberal? He called himself the omni-liberal. Oh, you're not a liberal. You're like Tyler Robinson. You came from a Christian religious family too. Conservative religious family too. You're not a real liberal, Destiny. You're a right-winger. Right? If we use their arguments. When it's pertaining to them, oh, no. It's different. Rules for thee, but not for me. That's the liberals' true purpose, true position in politics.
All of the recent political violence that's happened in this country over the past 20 years, the majority of it, the overwhelming majority of it, everybody gets mad because they keep asking Grok about it, has been conservative.
Who shot Charlie Kirk?
A guy from Utah who was raised in a Christian family, who was a 22-year-old
white
dude.
described.
He wasn't
Destiny.
trans. He didn't have a trans girlfriend. He didn't have any trans influences. He didn't have any trans bullets. Yeah, I'm sorry, you guys were wrong on all of that.
Deny. And what's his sources? What is Destiny's sources? Trust me, bro. That's what that's the source.
The governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, has made it clear that their investigation has now established that he had been radicalized by a leftist ideology, which drove him to do this. That's just
I'm sorry, excuse me, when?
Yesterday, he said that.
No. When was he radicalized? In the 6 months that he did remote college?
I don't know when he was radicalized, but I do know.
What you just said
I do know
true.
the very reasonable-sounding governor of Utah has made it clear that the
you
may not want to hear
this. Is an ongoing investigation.
You may not want to hear it, Destiny. But the reality is, the investigators, according to the governor,
Destiny, the D for Destiny is denial. This is how you get unity. You cannot have unity unless we walk the mountain of truth. And Destiny don't want to hear it. Destiny wants to play denial. He wants to deny, because he don't want any accountability. Turn a blind eye. But celebrate this. Oh, yeah. This needs to happen more. Conservatives need to be scared because that's the only way they'll submit to us. Right.
Of Utah have established that he was radicalized to a leftist ideology that drove him to murder Charlie Kirk. Now, let me just ask you.
That's just not true.
Let me just ask you.
There's no way to deal with it.
Okay,
you're living in a
accusing the governor of lying.
Yeah.
That's your prerogative. But
sure.
If it turns out to have been somebody with a leftist ideology who wanted to shut up Charlie Kirk, would you condemn that?
I won't condemn anything until the president of the United States can go on air and say, all of us need to calm down.
So you won't condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk until Donald Trump says something.
I'm a YouTuber. Leftists and Democrats have been condemning and...
So was Charlie Kirk, but y'all killed him. Like, all the excuse, like, in this next minute, I'm going to let it play, right? But I feel like I got to get this off my chest. In the next minute, this man's going to make so many excuses for why he shouldn't live the values that he pretends that he wants everyone else to live by. That's what you call hypocrisy. Oh, I'm not going to condemn anything until Donald Trump do something. Submit. Yo, come on. Mask off moment for the left here. And Anna Kasparian, even though she's a progressive, she's a progressive that lives in common sense or lives in reality. This man lives in delusion. He's delusional to think that people are just going to lay down and submit to his worldview and his opinion like it matters so damn much. No one cares about your opinion. But just like you, Charlie Kirk was just a YouTuber and he's influencing politics. Many people make him the reason why Donald Trump won the young vote in the first place. But look at you making a bunch of excuses. And the left wonder why they lose elections. They wonder why they ain't got no ground game. They wonder why they're not persuasive. They wonder why their influence is waning on the youth. Because where conservatives make an effort, It seems like liberals make excuses. I digress. Let's wrap up the video.
Turning down the temperature, condemning violence, turning down the temperature for a decade. Donald Trump can't go on TV and say, all of us need to calm down.
Right.
Can you tell me why he cannot?
Why
tell
would you
his
expect
side
anybody,
to calm down?
Destiny?
You
What?
can't answer that. Can you answer that question? Why can't
Can
Trump
you
go on
answer
TV
this
and say,
question?
all of us should be less violent?
Why do you
can't
think?
Trump say that?
Why do you
Why is
think?
your
Trump say
behavior
that? I feel
contingent
like
on Donald
I'm
Trump?
insane right now.
Why do you
is
think?
your
No, let me
behavior
ask a
contingent
question.
on Donald Trump?
Let me
Why
ask
is
a
that?
question.
Because he's the president of the United States of America and the leader of the
Yeah,
opposing
Destiny.
political party.
Destiny. Let me
You
just.
have a huge audience of young men who
I'm a
listen to
YouTuber
everything you have to
who
say.
has more
So
young
when
men
you,
following
it
him.
doesn't
Who
matter.
has
You have a
more young-
huge
it doesn't
audience,
matter.
and because
This
of
is
the
the
fact that
world
you have a
I'm
huge
living in,
audience,
and
you
your
have
brain
a
has been
responsibility
broken by
to
online
not turn.
rhetoric.
No,
And
it
your
hasn't.
brain
It
has
hasn't been
been
broken. I actually
destroyed
care
because
about the
people
country
bullied you on
and want to bring
Twitter.
people together.
If
You do
then
the
you should tell
opposite.
Donald
You
Trump to
represent
tell
the
people
worst
to
of us,
be
Destiny.
less.
Hey, that's one thing I can agree with Anna Kasparian. He do represent the worst of y'all. He does. The worst aspects, the worst political instincts of the left. Destiny represents that in spades. But I digress. I think I wasted enough breath on this guy. I think he's a perfect poster child of everything that further agitates the right to not want to unite with the left. And the more moderate ones, they provide cover for people like him, which further agitates the right. And then they want unity. They wonder why the right is not giving them any quarter. Because you have to acknowledge, right? To redeem yourself, right? To get past something, you have to acknowledge of wrongdoing. You have to acknowledge, like, hey, yeah, our rhetoric was bad. Yeah, we shouldn't dehumanize conservatives. We shouldn't try to other conservatives. We shouldn't try to socially ostracize conservatives because they express views that we don't align with. We shouldn't be doing that anymore. That's the reckoning. But the left don't want to have that reckoning because they see it as, oh no, we'll be submitting to the conservatives. This is only about power. Only about power. And conservatives, when you killed Charlie Kirk, you made every moderate conservative realize in real time, oh ish, this isn't about politics. It isn't about we're debating about what's best for this country. It's been about power. This is why conservatives are participating in cancel culture. In my estimation, you're just holding people accountable, right? When your son does something, you reprimand them. In society, when someone does something, when someone wrong you reprimand them, and that's what the conservatives are doing. Call it cancel culture, call it being hypocritical. It doesn't matter anymore because the mask fell off. You made us realize that we were playing a different game than you were playing. And now you're mad that we're getting even. Okay, we're going to hold you responsible for your words. Here's your consequence. No, I can't work with a coworker like this that celebrates the death of someone because you don't see eye to eye with them. You create this whole imagination of this boogeyman, this caricature based on out of context quotes and secondhand information that you yourself did not validate, but you just believe it anyway because you want to find a reason to justify your hatred for Charlie Kirk. That's the reality of the left. The left want to play a game of perception while the right wants to play a game of reality. Let's argue what's in reality. No, the left want to argue perception, narratives, framings. Because the left believes perception is reality, while the right believes perception isn't reality. And this is the game the left want to play. They want to control America's perception. But I don't think it's working anymore because their credibility, they were already struggling trying to influence America. But after this, I don't know how they come back. But let me know your thoughts and perspective in the comments section below. I'll be interested to hear what you guys have to say. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Please share this video if it's so kind. It really does help me on the algorithm. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.